What is up, everybody, and welcome to the K-pop corner with GENKILA, and of course welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at an interesting video. I know that I looked at 슈퍼주니어 a couple of times already, but I was funny enough looking at Bing, and yeah, Bing, not Google, literally Bing. But what was interesting is that I just put top 10 K-pop songs in history, and they actually chose this song by 슈퍼주니어 with no other, and that's the reason why I'm looking at it. I really want to know, is this actually in the top 10? Now, I am a little bit skeptical how they actually said, okay, this is going to be the number 1 or number 2. This is a little bit weird because if I look at views, this is not the most viewed K-pop song. So let's just find out in the future. So let's just find out by looking at the MV to see why the song is maybe chosen as number 1. Maybe there is a real reason behind it. And if you do know, put it in the comments below. That's the best way for me to find out, and also the other people who will read all the comments below as well, because hey, I want the comments to be as informational as possible for everyone. So let's go into No Other by 슈퍼주니어, Suju. Alrighty, let's see what 2010 was all about. Oh yeah, I totally forgot this. I mean, I looked at a few old videos, but this brings back some memories, you know, of other videos as well. Okay, so let's go already back, you know, we still have to remind ourselves this is 2010, you know, the style was a little bit different. It's all about, you know, just showing a little bit more about the groups. It was a different orientation, but let's go frame by frame. The one thing that I can already point out is that, you know, the color correction has to be spot on still, you know, but if we look at these two shots, you can see this is a bit, you know, it's a little bit dead in colors. It doesn't show a good skin tone, while here it's a bit warmer in the skin tone. You see, this is a bit more brown. This looks a little bit more, I like to say, dead. It's not really alive, but that is something that I noticed. On top of that, there's a lot of blooming effect on the background, and I'm not a fan of that, especially on a super bright monitor. It just hurts the eye a little bit. It's a little bit too intense, and maybe they could have just graded out if they would redo this video. I think it would be cool if some of these groups would redo some of these, you know, these classical videos, just to bring them back alive again and maybe make them even nicer than what they were. Ah, cool choreography. I mean, it's very simple, you know, it's on beat, but I like these kind of things. It plays with the music, it plays with the video, it plays with certain different elements. Nice. Nice. I still think it's fantastic though, you know, that they were able to capture everyone together. I think this is cool. What is also very interesting to point out here, and that's something that I always look at, is where do people actually look at? So you have, for example, this member looking straight at the camera, okay? He's looking at us, basically what I'm doing right now. But then you have someone in the background here looking behind the camera, and then you have the same person here looking behind the camera. I'm always curious what is happening there. Is there like a choreographer? Is there maybe a mirror? I'm really curious about this actually. Nice. Reminds me, I mean, I cannot say it reminds me of SHINee, but all I want to say, the style of the hair, the style of the clothing really reminds me of SHINee with, for example, Lucifer. It's just the era, it's what was trending back then, and it really just shows how, you know, these groups held up until today. Really nice. Really nice. Really nice shots as well. I mean, the thing is, back then we didn't really have, you know, the technology to stabilize shots, you know, on gimbals or anything. I think there were gimbals, but they weren't that advanced yet. But one thing that you can notice here is that these shots are just slowly panning shots, you know, slowly going around the people because they weren't really stabilized. Keeping it simple, but keeping it effective. If you don't know how to do certain shots and it's too crazy, slow it down just. Like this. This really helps. Gets rid of all the wobbles. Oh yeah, I can only remember 2010. This was the car for everyone to have. Super nice. Super cool. Super junior. Hold up, wait. Look at his facial expressions. He put all his energy into those moves. It's just cool. I like that. So the one thing that you can notice here, and I'm just going to point this out for anyone who's filming, of course, you know, you only have to look at his face, but you can see this is too bright. You lost so much detail in the skin, it just turns everything white. This is an error that I also sometimes still have in my videos, and it's just so annoying because once you have the shot, you cannot go back anymore. But it's such a shame to have because I like skin tones. They should have just maybe lowered down the lights here a little bit, just a little bit, so the skin tones can still show through. This is just oversaturated, or not oversaturated, this is just too bright. A lot of blooming effect going on here. You can see how everything is basically very soft when it comes to these lights. You can just see it here a little bit. You can see it on his skin. You know, it's something you can like or dislike, but for me, if it's too much, it's not something too appealing. But for what it's worth, you know, this is 2010, so we might as well just enjoy it. Super cool. Nice. Let's go back there again. Very simple effect what they did here. I mean, it's something that I just like, you know. Again, we're going to reflections. I think reflections and mirrors always make things make elements bigger. They make them, you know, just seem a little bit more appealing. For example, here we're not only focused on the member standing here, we also have the reflection of him there. Just makes him look so much more visible on the screen. It's very nice, actually. I'm just not a real big fan of this softening that's going on. It just looks as if there was a massive oil spill on one of the lenses and it's very smudged. I'm not a big fan of it. Wow, again, you know, you can just see how bright the background is here. This is something that you should avoid. The best tip that I can give only from now on is if you film like this, put some lights behind the camera here, basically brighten him up a little bit, turn down the aperture, you know, make sure that the brightness is a little bit gone, so you also get some sky in the background. It's just nice to get some blue as well. So you can actually look outside the window and not that you get blinded by the super bright, overly lit scene. Nice. I mean, I'm not a choreographist, I'm going to point it out, but can we all just give them a little bit of credit that this just looks really cool on camera? It looks very impressive. Very nice. I like also, again, because we're going from a filming perspective, I really like what we can actually see here with the clothes as well. They tried to make it a little bit contrasting to the background. I do, however, wish that for some of the white elements, they maybe chose a darker color still. For example, his white t-shirt, there's too much white already in the scene. Maybe something black, something, you know, what the other ones are wearing as well, just to, you know, make him stand out a little bit more, because it is a little bit invisible. You know, he's the one that stands out as least visible on shot. Like this again, I don't know, maybe this was 2010, but again, here it does work out. You know, we have this nice, you know, beige color in the background, and because he's wearing black, he stands out a little bit more. This works, but if he was wearing the same color of beige on his skin, or if he was purely naked, it would look a little bit weak. It doesn't really, you know, pop out as much. I have a question, by the way. You can see the style now. Would you be happy if they come back maybe again and reintroduce the style again in maybe a future video? Maybe to mock it, maybe not, you know, just to say like, hey, this is where we came from. And maybe it would be cool to maybe if they brought it back, you know, like what do you actually think about it? Cool. It's very interesting though. When I look at the older Super Junior videos, I always like to say it comes over very mature, but here you can clearly see they're a bit younger. You know, this is like the starting time. I think this was 10 years ago, so they were in their 20s still. You can see that the style is very different and it's less mature, it's less grown up, but it's basically what the K-pop groups, you know, in their age right now are doing also right now. So they were really ahead of the times if you think about it. Hey. Way overblown, like literally you're losing so much details just that it's not needed. I don't know what they were going with here, and maybe at the end they're going to reveal that this was all maybe a dream. Then it would maybe make sense, but I don't think this is a dream at all. I can't imagine it at all. I can actually imagine that being cool if you know you're in university and you have that photographer coming by just taking pictures. I remember just doing that as well at my university. It was just fun to take photos of people. It was just something I enjoyed, and you know, it gives a bit of a memory lane. You know, you're going back in the past and thinking, that's cool. It might look really weird, you know, for some people, but if you're into photography, this actually makes very much sense. But yeah. You know, you can really see just that they're really happy to be on set. It's as if they're really just giving their 105%, you know, on set. Cool. You can really see that back then the camera was as well very, very different. You know, you don't have extreme camera angles where everything would just look terrible in the sense of super hyper realistic, everything moving super quick, everything super stable. This is also very nice. And on top of that, can we just point out that while we're actually stopping here, look at them just smiling in the background. You can see that they're having fun on set. You can see that they're having a good time. Always nice. This is very much my style of filming. You know, you're just following people, you're following a story, you're trying to get some very nice captures. You want to get a little bit into their face to make it a little bit intimate, you know, as if you're part of their life, as if you're part of the friendship circle. I think that they really captured that well, especially with the cinematics and the videography that we can see in this video. That was a bit of a weird shot, no? Like, it's a very low shot. Like, I have not seen a shot like this before. And I understand why they do it. They want to show some of the footwork, but I've never seen it before, but it works. It's very different. It's very unexpected. And sometimes unexpected is actually very good for an MV. It's very floaty, the song, isn't it? It's very chill. It's very much a love-warming song. Did this come out for Valentine's by any chance? If you know, put in the comments below. I would love to know if you heard this song, you know, during Valentine's. You know, this is a clear example of what I mean with something being overblown. You cannot even see what is on this, what is he holding, a postcard. It's a bit of a shame because I think that if this was just a little bit properly lit, I would love to see what it says here. Because at the moment I can just see one letter and then it just fades away into nothing. A bit of a shame. Very nice. Very cool shot as well. It came out around 2010 as well, if I remember. Let's watch it again. So what this is basically multiple cameras, you know, in a 360 array, and it just goes around the subjects, and it just takes a photos. And with those photos, you can make a very cool time lapse, as if they're doing like they're doing right here. It just seems like it's a 360 photo. A lot of cameras were used. I don't know how many, but it looks cool, though. I mean, for back then, it was super cool. I like this part of the choreography. It's literally my favorite part. And also the way it's filmed. I just like it because you can see the entire group nicely in a triangle, and slowly it's just a, what do you call it? A wave of, you know, beat after beat. It's slowly getting bigger and bigger. A ripple effect, that's what it's called. Really nice. Very nice. So that is Super Junior with No Other, and I will be honest, I think this is the perfect Valentine's song. They captured the love, they captured the happiness, and overall I can just say you can see the groups were really happy as well with their MV. They can see that everyone was just having their joy, they were all being part of it and giving it their fullest. I think this is the most important when it comes to any of the works that you try to make, because if you don't show who you are, then what's even the point of it? You know, like what's even the point of being on set if you just don't care? But here, they really care. It's good. I have really nothing to complain about here besides literally the lighting scenarios. I think it is over the top bright. Some of the elements are really blown out and the information is just missing. They should have just maybe just fixed it somehow, you know, use some more lights on the front so that they can also use that as a light source rather than only using the background and the natural light. And that's what I feel that was the downside of this video. They used a lot of natural lighting rather than studio lights, LED panels, for example, what I'm using here. Would have been a little bit better here as well, but they didn't do it, sadly. But then again, it was 2010. Maybe they didn't have the budget. I don't know the financial situation, but there must be a reason behind it. There must be a reason to why they went with this artistic choice. And overall, it all might have been just a big error as well. I cannot say, but then again, it was a #1 song. So I can't really complain because I don't have a #1 song. But yeah, guys, tell me what you think, of course, in the comments below. Did you like the MV? Did you not like the MV? Do you know the song? Have you listened to it on Valentine's or any other, let's say, lovable time of your life? I would love to hear your experience as well with the song, because I can imagine that a lot of people had a good time with the song, especially when it came out. It just makes you feel so happy, you know, and I like that. I like when happiness is brought out in an MV. That's all I can say about that. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. And of course, if you did enjoy the video, please just make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. And of course, make sure to check out the link below, because we are releasing a shiny inspired t-shirt, hoodie and crew top very soon. So make sure to be part of it as well. We're only selling a limited amount of products, so be there, because once it's sold out, and we're not going to produce anymore. It's really for those shiny lovers, and maybe we're going to make one for Super Junior as well. I would love to see what we can do there. So make sure to check out the Fuku website and stay updated. Guys, stay healthy, wear a mask, and enjoy your life. Yeah, I wish I could sing, but I can't.